All right. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining this wonderful event that we have here in store for you today. Um, my name is Cynthia Gomez, and I am the Professional Development Executive Vice President for Hacemos. And today we have Hacemos, IK, and the network who have partnered together with WGU, Western Governors University. And we're going to talk about preparing for your next level in tech. And our speaker today, our host, is Dr. Yashima Azilove. And she has over 20 years of corporate and entrepreneurial experience that spans disciplines and industries. A former award-winning journalist and highly recognized corporate marketing communications professional, Dr. Yashima's career has blazed trails for other women of color to follow. She worked her way to Chief Marketing Officer by the age of 32, built and sold a global $2 million professional development firm by the age of 40, and has worked with celebrities, artists, politicians, social influencers, and brands such as LVMH, Comcast, and eBay. Very impressive, Dr. Yashima. She's been quoted in the New York Times, Washington Post, Rolling Stones, and a host of other outlets as a brand communications expert and diversity, equity, and inclusion guru. Dr. Yashima currently works at WGU and serves as the executive leader of marketing, business development, and enrollment for the university's newest course and certificate offerings. Welcome, Dr. Yashima. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm going to kick it all over to you.
Well, thank you so much for your warm introduction. It is such a pleasure to be with you. I have to shout out Cynthia, and thank you so much, Alex and Doris, for making this possible and for partnering with Western Governors University so we could be here on today to speak to these awesome folks. I just have to commend AT&T. There are many organizations that speak to their commitment to DE&I and fewer that have active engagement in their ERGs as one of the key signals that DE&I is alive in your organization. So it is absolutely a pleasure to be with you all on today, and kudos to AT&T for its commitment. I'm going to get started today, but I just wanted to share a little bit about me to give you some context for discussion today. So much of what it is that I'm going to speak about is largely related to Black, Latina, and Native American women. And the insights I'm going to share and the access to the opportunities that I'm going to share on today is certainly applicable. It transcends beyond that audience. But I want to spend time speaking specifically to that BLNA audience, the audience that I have the pleasure of being a part of. And I want to call out to you why it's significant that AT&T would gather ERGs around these particular groups of difference is what I will call them, why it is significant that the marketplace needs to pay attention to what is happening specifically with this demographic. But like to share a little bit of my story with you and why I believe that it is particularly significant. Before I get started, because there are quite a few of us on the line, you came to a webinar today. And for those of you that will log in and see this later, you actually logged in today to see a video around prepare for your next level in tech. I'm wondering what you believe your next level in tech actually is. So why don't you put that in the chat? What do you believe your next level is? Is that a degree? Is it a job, a specific title? Is it managing a function? What is that for you? I'd love for you to put that in there. And I can appreciate no idea. So you're here to actually figure out the pathway. So I can appreciate the person who put that in the chat. What else? Go ahead and put those in the chat. Doing joyful work. So this is where joy is for you. I love that. That's so significant. Trying to figure it out. Cybersecurity degree. Awesome. Go ahead and populate that information. As you're doing that, I want to keep looking at the chat. Let me share with you all a little bit of the impetus for some of the content that I want to share with you today, particularly around how this BLNA audience is so significant. You heard that I was able to reach a chief marketing officer role by the age of 32, which is really unheard of, particularly back when that happened in the course of my career. But when I did that, excited to come into the role, it was not very much, I don't know, maybe 30, 60 days into the role that I realized how much money my male counterparts were making in other C-level roles in that organization. And I realized that while I was proud to have walked into the position, I wasn't nearly getting as paid relative to what my counterparts were getting paid. And so therein started my quest in the DE&I space and really looking at the equity gap in terms of salary for women in general, but particularly women of color. And when you start looking at that same data for women in tech, the data is that much more daunting. And that's what I want to share with you today. But let's look at this. What did we come for today? Still trying to figure it out. Next career move, finding my path. Beautiful. Well, then you know what? You found yourself in the right place. This is a great place to be because I'm hopeful that by the time we complete this session today, that you will have some really clear direction in terms of where your next is, or at least the right inquiry starting place in order to get to your next in terms of your career in tech. So let's go ahead to the first slide, and I want to share some insights with you. If you really look at Black, Latina, and Native American women, they're the most severely underrepresented demographic group in the technical workforce. So look at that. 16.5% of the working age population in our country, right? But yet, when it comes to tech roles, we're looking at 4.1% in technical roles. And that's not by mistake or happenstance. When you look back even K through 12, our girls are not necessarily matriculating or studying in the areas of tech, in the areas of computing at all. So if they don't have access to, they're not exposed to or prompted for careers in technology, then there is no wonder why higher education percentages look the way they do. And moreover, what it looks like in the actual workforce to have women in general and women of color specifically. If you look at those percentages there, we're talking 3% of Black women in the computing workforce, 1% of Latina women in the computing workforce. There is something disproportionately wrong from inception of education in terms of exposure. Expectation of being able to navigate tech programs and computing programs are far below where they should be. Moving on, I want to share with you insights here. It says 86% of women are promoted to manager for every 100 men across every industry. But look at what happens when we start talking about tech. The number drops significantly to 52 women for every 100 men. So even when we can get women into the tech industry, the likelihood of their progression, currently the stats say, are even less so than women who are promoted in management roles across other industries. But here's the good news on today as we move to the next slide. The quote is a beautiful way to really land the power of what is happening here today with AT&T. It says, as a Latina and a daughter of an immigrant, I had to figure out how to get ahead on my own. No one did that for me. It would have been a big leg up if my employer had created access to networks and circles of information that I would miss out on otherwise. I love that because that's exactly what your employer, AT&T, has done, is providing you the network and a circle of information. And Western Governors University is thrilled to be a part of that circle of information that we're sharing for you all on today. I want to share with you this really cute video. It's very short, but it absolutely embodies the spirit of what's happening in a corporate America all over the country. So go ahead and press play on that.
Oh, thank you.
Only $1,273 after taxes. God damn.
Wait, you make $1,273?
Yeah, what do you make?
78% of that? But that's so weird because we have the same job. That's not fair. Unless.
Could you give this folder to Mark?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hey, can you give this folder to Mark?
Oh, Mark's right there.
I know. Thanks for doing all of the job that you're paid to do.
Hey, Allison, can you give me those reports we talked about?
Oh yeah, I can get you roughly 4 out of 5 of the reports.
Why not all 5?
You tell me.
So before we adjourn, does anyone have anything to add?
Oh, I've actually noticed that in the most recent research, the most important thing that we can do.
Allison, you didn't finish your sentence.
Oh, I know. He did most of it though. So.
Allison, are you available for a conference call at 2?
Sure, how long do you think it'll take?
About an hour.
Great.
Okay, really need you on this one.
You got it.
As I was looking over the reports, I noticed that there was a
2:47, time for a snack.
Allison, I feel like you're not giving this job 100%.
You're right. I'm giving it about 78%. Oh, and it's already 4:45, so I'm in overtime. Wouldn't want to cost you any extra money.
Okay, but I need you to come in this weekend.
That is a good one, Mike. I'll see ya. Can you believe that I only make 78%?
I don't even make that.
What? We need to fix this.
Very, very cute video that ascertains what happens when a woman who does the same job as a man realizes that she's getting paid about 78% less than what it is that he's getting paid. And she went through the rest of her business day doing 78% less work. In order to send the strong signal that, hey, this is what 78% of the job looks like. So if you want to pay me at 78% of the job, this is what my productivity level will look like. And at the very end of that video, she runs across an African-American female coworker who says, you're getting paid 78% of the job? Well, I'm not even getting paid that much. And so that leads us to this idea of the equity pay gap. Look at the slide that's on the screen right now. When we look at total earnings of women of color, relatively speaking, it's pretty daunting when you look at the percentage and compared to men who were doing the same role, right? This is real work for us to do in America, period, right? In the marketplace, particularly for women of color. And you can see how each one of those demographics compare against their male counterparts. So herein lies the entranceway, if you will, of Western Governors University. WGU is the largest nonprofit online university in the country. And a large part of our mission and our focus is all around being able to close the equity gap, right? And so our president oftentimes says that to access education without actual attainment of degree is absolutely a scam. The idea that you have learners that can matriculate and get a degree and it not impact their life, their economic life, the actual outcome of achieving that degree should mean something. And at Western Governors University, when we look at the economic impact of our graduates, we find on average, after 2 years of graduation, they're earning $22,200 more than when they came in, right? And after 4 years post-graduation, we're looking at $29,200. There is true economic impact in partnering with a university that is holistically looking at that learning experience. And so that is the opportunity that I want to outline for you all today is what would life look like? What would life look like for you if you could earn $22,000 more or $29,000 more? Or for those of you that are searching for your what, your big why, what would make me happy and fulfilled? What role at AT&T would I want to actually walk into in this area of tech? How do I find out exactly what area of the organization best suits me? I want to submit to you today that perhaps WGU is a great option for you to consider. And there's some funding sources to demonstrate that commitment. So Western Governors University, we have 4 discipline areas. It's business, education, healthcare and nursing, and of course, IT. I say we're the nation's largest nonprofit university. We're a rigorous online, 100% online university. And we consider ourselves and pride ourselves on being low cost and low risk relative to any brick and mortar institution that you have out there. We are fully accredited by the NWCCU that you can see there on the screen. And I am proud, as one who has worked in a number of different industries, to be able to support WGU in this particular role and being able to share the insights of what it is the value of education does in closing the equity gap in our country, particularly for women of color in the tech industry. So we have partnered, there's a collaborative with an organization entitled B4 Women in Tech. So I want to share with you a little bit about that organization. We can push forward. So building the bridges and breaking the barriers of women in technology. This is a collaborative, a partnership with the Reboot Representation Tech Coalition. And its goal simply is to increase the number of BL&A women in tech. They are so committed to doing so that they have put their money where their mouth is. And that is a part of the opportunity that I want to share with you folks on today. Pushing forward to the next slide. You will note that there are 8 degree offerings at Western Governors University for those that would like to study in IT. There's computer science, cybersecurity, data analytics, network engineering, there's cloud, there's IT, software engineering, and there's an accelerated information technology bachelor's and master's degree program. So if a bachelor's degree is what it is that you are seeking for, then this is a viable option for you. But what if you're not sure yet? You're still in exploration mode, or you're not sure that you're ready to matriculate in a degree because you're not sure what it would mean to actually be in an online degree. That is where Before Academy course options come into play. So you have an option of gaining your first industry certification through CompTIA. That is the CompTIA IT Fundamentals course. You can take that course, and that course will gain you entryway into the university. So despite what your academic background might have previously been, let's say you matriculated and didn't do very well as an undergraduate student. Let's say you graduated high school barely, we struggled through it, and you're not even sure what your grades would look like or how that would transfer into a college experience. Then I want to offer you the opportunity for this readiness-like program through our IT Fundamentals course. You also may say that cybersecurity, I saw someone in the chat had mentioned cybersecurity is the way to go. You can go right into that cybersecurity degree, but it does require pre-calculus as a prerequisite course to that program, and that pre-calculus course can be taken as well. And then there's a wonderful program that we can partner or package IT fundamentals as well as pre-calculus with, which is entitled PACA, and I'll walk you through that class in just a moment. So PACA stands for the Program for Academic and Career Advancement. It is a wonderful 7-week course. It is a live course that is done online with a sense of community that is all around helping you develop a thriving mindset. It's helping you around your goal setting and self-efficacy to increase your communication skills and your resiliency. It's all around a firm foundation in brain science and emotional intelligence. Why is that important? Because the lessons, the skills, the aptitude, the competencies that you learn in the PACA program directly translate into your day-to-day work environment right now at AT&T. It can translate into your right now life in your dealings with your family life, with your friends, with your community, and it absolutely will give you the tools that are needed around goal setting and study skills that are necessary for you to persist in that bachelor's degree program. So if you say, you know what, I'm not quite sure if I'm college ready, then I want to encourage you to create the bundle, that ITF Fundamentals, right? IT Fundamentals, which is a CompTIA certification package with PACA, is a beautiful package for you to identify if indeed a career in IT and what area of a career of IT you might be interested in. If you're like, I'm clear about what I want to do, I just want to take that certification course, you can go for that single course option. If you know that cybersecurity is for you, then absolutely go into pre-calculus or bundle pre-calculus with PACA in order to gain those extra skills around that thriving mindset and resiliency that we want to challenge yourself to be able to expand your capacity for learning and for that ultimate readiness that will assist you in your ability to persist. Let's talk a little bit more about the program. So Before Women in Tech allow for you to have additional resources that are available to you. And so those additional resources based upon this scholarship program is full funding into the program that I just communicated. So if you are a BLNA woman on the line and you say, yes, I think this might be for me, or I'm willing to try it, you're doing so at very minimal risk. Why? Because these scholarship dollars are available for you to matriculate into that ITF program as a single course, ITF and that PACA class we spoke to, as well as perhaps going into that pre-calc class or pre-calculus and PACA. 100% paid. I'm seeing the hearts in the chat because you can appreciate how significant the opportunity is, particularly for an audience where I'm clearly hearing from you all that yes, indeed, I'm not quite sure, but I want to get us running start. Along with this program, you see Women in Technology Club. So you'll have that alliance, that mentorship, that support mechanism through a club that you'll have access to. That near-to-peer program is beautiful because there are women of color who are already in the career, have already been successful, and are willing to come back in order to mentor and to guide you through the program. These are WGU graduates who have navigated not just our program, but into the business world. And so they can tell you personally through their experience what it means to be a woman of color in tech. What were the friction points? What are the barrier points? Where is the joy? I love the fact that someone says, I'm seeking for joy in the chat. So where is the joy that they have found in the workplace, and that their joy can be a part of your inspirational journey? There's transcript and concierge services, and there's leadership webinars and series. The point is that there is more. And that is the partnership, the collaborative that we have with Before Women in Tech, that we want to extend the olive branch to the women of AT&T that are Black, Latin American, or Latina, and or Native American, that BLNA market. Next slide. The beauty of what it is that we have at WGU is the ability to wrap around not just great coursework, not just being online, but again, because our goal is not just to get you enrolled, our goal is to get you to completion. It is actually to obtain that first step into the degree and ultimately to walk into that bachelor's degree that helps us to defy the statistics that we talked about, that you will be another woman that goes into tech, another woman who is earned at equity for tech, and another woman who gets promoted in tech. We know that the degree or education is the ultimate pathway to opportunity. And so in order for us to say that we want to successfully graduate folks in this program and not just give you a scholarship to enter in, we also want to ensure that we wrap around services to ensure that you get to completion. And so we're really proud at Western Governors University with our support service model that we have in place. So for any of those single courses we talked about, or those bundles of courses with PACA, there are course instructors that are available for that pre-calculus class. There is tutoring that is available, 24/7 access to tutoring support online. You get a one-on-one professional coach that helps to navigate not just getting you through the program, but all of those natural barriers in life that prohibit us sometimes from obtaining our goals. So when you say I'm ready to go back to school and I'm a full-time working professional, and by the way, most of our learners, over 70% of our learners, are full-time working professionals. So you absolutely can do this with a full-time job. It's designed to see you through that. But there are natural shifts and ebbs and flows that happen in life as a result of you adding this additional thing to your plate as a working professional. And so we have professional coaches that are assigned one-on-one to every learner to be able to help you navigate that. In fact, when I came to Western Governors University, that was the role that I had. I was student facing. I worked with a number of students. I served hundreds of students in my time at Western Governors University before transitioning into this role. And I will tell you, we navigated folks all the way from death in the family to divorce that was happening to challenges with their family, because when your heart is broken and your mind is cluttered, you can't get access to studying, right? It's like, I know I have a test, but I can't even read the textbook in order to get to the test, right? And so we wanted to ensure that we cleared that passageway. So whatever is happening in life, whatever challenges you may have, there's a support mechanism to talk you through it, to work you through it in order for you to get direct access, having the capacity to access the learning opportunity that's before you. There's awesome pacing and accountability support. So if you're like, I don't know that I have family support to do this, I'm not sure how I'm going to make it through this and maintain my full-time job, I will tell you have a wonderful, wonderful system that there are digital messages that actually get sent to you. You have students, experience specialists that are sending you emails. There are calls you're getting from your coach. So in other words, there are wraparound sources, both digital and human intervention, where we are telling you, you are not alone as a BLNA woman who is deciding to start on this course to the next level of achievement in your life. I want to pause and get you think about that. What would life be like? Not just as a student, but on the other side of student with that degree. How would your family feel about you? What kind of model would you be for your community? What would it mean for you to defy the statistic? To say, I know what the data says, but I am not a number. I am a strong BLNA woman. I'm accomplished. I'm assured. And I'm navigating the marketplace from a place of power, a place of knowledge. Yes, I see those comments coming in the text, in the chat. That's exactly right. It is that accomplishment, defying statistics. I love it. Confidence. That's exactly right. That's what it would feel like. And it's that feeling that I want you to hold on to, because that's how you have to make a decision. You make a decision today and in the coming days about what you ultimately want for your future. Your future cannot be dictated to by your history. Your future is dictated to by the decisions you make today. And every day is a new day to make a new decision about the woman, about the man that you ultimately want to be. All right, let's push forward. So CompTIA Fundamentals, I spoke a bit about that course. So know that it is it guarantees you direct entryway into the bachelor's program to any of those 8 degree programs that I shared with you on the screen, with the exception of computer science. Computer science, you want to definitely matriculate in that in that pre-calculus course for CompTIA. But for all the other degree programs that I shared with you, CompTIA Fundamentals is the absolute first right step for you to get your feet wet, for you to get comfortable, for you to have that coaching support, and for you to really be able to identify which area of IT would you like to pursue for those of you that are in Quest. Next slide. All right, so for everything I just shared with you all, please note that the Before Women in Tech scholarship is available for BLNA women who want to pursue degrees in IT. So you can go directly into the degree, or you take the natural first step of these courses that I have laid out for you that would be 100% paid for you if you choose to go in this direction. How many of you think that it's unbelievable, almost too good to be true, that someone is going to pay 100% for you to take the first step of inquiry? That's amazing, right? And if you look in the chat right now, there's a link that you can jump in to see more information around the Before program. Yes, it's totally inspiring. I love that. Okay. Now I want to share something a little different for you. Here's the deal. It's mind-blowing. I love the chat. You guys are great. All right. So that's the scholarship, Before Women in Tech. Those are the opportunities for exploration and to get started. Okay. Now I'm shifting gears because I want to share something else with you, which is the opportunity for you to get into the marketplace quicker, to get promoted into that IT role before acquiring a degree. And it's through the power of certificates. We know the IT world is probably one of the strongest industries that are embracing certificates as the ultimate learning ground for placement, for job placement, because it is through these certificates that you get right now ready skills for specific jobs in the market. And again, the IT industry has been very embracing of that. These certificates are not covered by the before scholarship that we spoke to, but they may very well be covered through your tuition reimbursement program, which you will hear about from your AT&T leaders as soon as I finish my chat with you. So I want you not to tune me out, although payment is not covered through this scholarship, but payment is absolutely perhaps viable through your reimbursement program. And this may be the alternative route that you'd like to take. So let's push forward and let's share with you a little bit about certificates. So we have 3 certificates currently at Western Governors University that have rolled out. 2 of the 3 are specific in the tech world. So we have Web Application Deployment and Support. We call it WADS. We have Front-End Developer, okay? And we have Back-End Developer that is launching January 8th. The combination of those 3 of web application, front-end, and back-end would actually culminate in a full stack engineering cert. That is so powerful, right? We're talking few credit hours short of almost an associate's degree is how sophisticated a full stack engineering certificate is. But you start one step at a time, front end, back end, and WADS, right? The power of the certificates at Western Governors University, because please understand, there are over 1.5 million certificates in the marketplace. That's not an exaggeration. That's a real number, right? Over 1.5 million certificates in the marketplace. How do you know the right place to get a cert, right? What is worth investing in? What is credible, right? I would argue that it is very credible to come to a university that is leading in cybersecurity, that is leading in tech knowledge, that is leading in terms of employment for organizations even like Apple, right? We are producing ready to work laborers in the IT space. Another really important thing to note about our certificates that is very unique in the marketplace is that all of the credit hours that you earn in the cert stack to the degree. So there are many places you can go and get a cert, and maybe you can get a job afterwards. But if you decide that you want your bachelor's degree, those credits don't go anywhere. It's just a cert. At Western Governors University, all of those credit hours result in a certificate that you can go into a higher resiliency job. You'll be prepared with the skills that are necessary to get that job, but you also have credit hours earned that you can bank right into a bachelor's degree, one of those 8 programs that I shared with you previously. So there is no credit loss because of that stackable, scalable nature of our certificates. It's really very powerful. You can use the QR code right there on the screen for any one of these. I'll walk you through WADS. So Web Application Deployment and Support. This is really for folks that are looking to become, let's say, like cloud administrators or development ops administrators or mobile application analysts, right? If that's something you might be thinking about, this particular cert, WADS, is a great place to start because there are 2 industry certifications, Linux and AWS, that are embedded in the WGU certificate. So you not only get the certificate from WGU, you also walk out with 2 industry certifications. So it's a really powerful program, just 5 months long. Go ahead, push me through. We have a business leadership cert. So now this is a generalized leadership certificate that if you're in tech or in another industry, I want you to consider. Think about what it would mean to actually upskill your leadership aptitude. Is that the thing that you need on your resume to differentiate you from someone else that's in the pool of folks that are vying for the job at AT&T with you? If you think about what differentiates you, it might be really powerful if you're looking to get into that first management role in whatever department you're in, to be able to say that I have a business leadership certificate that has completely prepared you in terms of the fundamentals of leadership and management, organizational management and design, group dynamics. These are the types of things that you will learn and you will hear: the power of delegation, the power of listening and coaching skills. These are the competencies that are taught within this particular certificate. Then you might consider the business leadership cert as a great entryway into that next level job, but also stackable credits that can go towards your bachelor's degree. Next slide. Front end. So front end is that next part, if you will, of that of the IT certifications. Again, those that are looking to go into front end web development, I would say we're looking at careers like I want to be a web developer, or I'd like to think through what it means to be a front end developer, or a UA tester, or think about a UX design person. Any of those things that might be of interest to you, this is a great starting point for you to learn, again, those job ready skills that prepare you to walk into those roles right away. But look at this, you're actually banking 16 credits, right? Course units, credit hours that will then stack into the degree if you're ready. Or you hold on to that, you go straight into back-end development, which is again launching on January 8th. Add WADs to that, and now you've got a full-fledged, full stack engineering certification. Okay. I love this quote. It's a beautiful one to begin to wrap down our time together. It says, I'm excited for the future. If companies continue to do the work to support us, to help us get a foot in the door and stay once we're in, then I think more and more people like me will be able to claim their seat at the table. Having all these different perspectives when making decisions will only make tech companies stronger. I absolutely love that. I believe that, and that's exactly the opportunity that has been afforded to you by AT&T in partnership with Western Governors University, and of course, Reboot, our B4 Women in Tech. I want to encourage you to go ahead and use that QR code, to jot down that phone number, to look at that URL that's on the screen to find out further information about how we can be of support to you. But I want to take you back to the dream sequence we just left. What does it feel like when you obtain the certificate? What does it feel like when you complete your first step into your bachelor's degree? What does it mean to you when you cross the stage to get your bachelor's degree? When you fully identify with being a professional, an IT professional, a woman in tech, a woman of color in tech. What little girl in elementary school that doesn't see that possible will see it possible through you? And it will change the courses that she wants to take in middle school and high school. It will alter the trajectory of her life when she decides to go to college. Who will mentor the next generation of BLNA women in tech? I virtue to say that it's someone on this line. You all have been awesome, totally engaging in the chat. It has been a pleasure to be with you all on today. I don't want you to hang up this line because I believe Cynthia is going to come back to be able to walk you through your actual tuition benefit program. So if a certificate is the direction you want to go in, we want to make sure that AT&T gives you the roadmap on how to do that. But if you want to get started today on that ITF course, on pre-calc, go ahead and use that QR code and you can get started today, fully funded in your program. It's been a pleasure to be with you all.
Thank you, Dr. Yashima. Do we want to open it up for questions first, just in case someone has any questions in the chat?
I'd love that.
Yeah,
you got it.
So anyone on the call, if you have any questions for Dr. Yashima regarding any of the certificates, the different programs she just went through, please go ahead and put them in the chat, and we can.
Yes, Cynthia, there's some questions in the Q&A section. If you hit the Q&A
perfect.
button at top.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Yes. So, are any master's programs available?
Yes, we do have master's programs, and I encourage you to visit wgu.edu. When you click on the College of IT, you will see all of the bachelor's followed by all of the master's degrees that are available.
Thank you. And then the other question that's on here is there any support for learners with cognitive disabilities?
We do have support for that, absolutely. So when you enroll in the university and you identify as one that has a learning difference, then you'll be assigned a mentor that can support you through through your learning journey. So absolutely. And there's a place on our website that you can go to actually look for that around learning difference, learning journey, to provide you with more info and insight. So please don't allow your learning difference to be a game changer to stop you from pursuing your dreams in technology. There are a number of students who have managed to navigate the program with supports. If you're persistent, if you're resilient, if you're willing to put the work in, then we'll absolutely meet you there.
Thank you, Dr. Yoshima. And the link to the master's degrees for WGU was just posted by David. Thank you, David.
Beautiful. Thank you for doing that.
And I don't see any other questions. Let me just check the Q&A section one more time. Okay. So I did want to take a couple minutes to just speak about tuition reimbursement to everyone on the call. Of course, we all know that AT&T provides a lot of really great resources for us, and we know that paying for school can be pretty expensive. So AT&T does have a tuition reimbursement assistance program that's out there. I did add the link to the chat, and you can find out more information. There's tuition reimbursement for management roles and tuition reimbursement for non-management roles as well. So please take a look and look at what is offered. Of course, depending on if you're going for a bachelor's, a certificate, a master's degree, there are different caps for the amounts that can be provided as a reimbursement. But I am currently in school, and I take full advantage of the tuition reimbursement program, and it's really helped with my education journey. So just wanted to give some of that information, some of the resources. We have a lot of resources within AT&T regarding tuition reimbursement, and if you don't know about it or haven't really read to it, just make sure to go to that link that I posted and take a look at what's offered. And let's see, any other questions come in before we wrap up? Oh, there is another question that came up. Is there the WGU scholarships open to BLNA women outside of AT&T?
Oh my goodness, how could I forget to say that? Yes, that's what's so powerful about this. It's not just for you, it's for your sister, your mother, your girlfriend, your cousin. Absolutely. It is for any BLNA woman who has a commitment to navigate and to grow in the tech world. So please feel free to share the link and share this information so you can create your own tribe, right? Your own community of sister girlfriends that are navigating this program with you. You absolutely can share this information.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Yoshima. All right, if there are no other questions, I want to thank everyone who joined today. It's been so informative. A lot of great resources that WGU has just shared with us. And I hope that you all continue your education journey. If you are currently in it, don't want to start, please do so. And Dr. Yoshima, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us some great information. And of course, we love the partnership with WGU, our Hacemos, IK, and the network ERG members. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll end today's call. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Take care. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.